Welcome to this week's edition of The Link tonight. And we're discussing a new law which is enabling businesses. And briefly, it is called Securities Interest in Movable Property Act. We are going to break that down in a moment. Welcome back, and my guest tonight is Ms. Provia Nangovi, who is the head of PIARA, Uganda Registration Services Bureau. Provia, welcome.
Thank you.
This animal is called Securities Interest in Movable Property Act. So many words for 2019. What is that? What are we talking about?
Securities Interest in Movable Property Act is one of the newest acts that were passed by Parliament of Uganda.
Okay.
And it repeals the former Chattel Security Act of 2014. The reason why it had to be repealed and changed was initially registrations of chattels was purely manual.
Okay.
Yeah, but to be in tandem with the development of different countries and the world generally, it was important for us to consider providing a service in the best suitable way without delaying people. So the new act, usually we cut it short into SIMPA.
Okay.
SIMPA is more, I would say, more appealing, more modern.
It's cooler.
Because cooler, you could say, and more modern because it addresses most of the challenges that were not there in the former act.
Okay.
So, for example, now someone can be able, a secured creditor can be able to register interest electronically. The new system that URSB is in charge of is purely electronic.
Let's not go to the system first. Let's people understand. I'm sure people are saying, what are these guys talking about? Movable property, chattels. What are we talking about? What is this movable property, which is of interest here? Just give us some examples.
Actually, when you said what animal is this, I thought you had already understood it. Because
for the viewers,
animals are part of movable property. Movable property is the opposite of immovable property, which people for a long time have been using to access loans or credit. So immovable property is the land, houses, because you cannot move them from point A to point B. Movable property, what the new act addresses, is property that me, as an individual, I own and can get a loan or credit against.
Okay.
So it is a cross-section of loads of things. It can be livestock for farmers. It can be farm produce, still for farmers. It can be electronic equipment for people who have maybe shops. It can be the stock in a shop that you already have. Okay. But it's something that is movable, meaning you can move it from here to there.
Let's connect the dots, Provia. So now I have cows, or goats, and then you said the bank can break that down for me. How do my cows enable me get money from the bank under this arrangement?
With the new act,
just
not anybody can lend using security of movable property. The difference is you must be either a licensed or regulated person or institution before you can actually carry out any transaction.
The one who lends money, basically.
Yes, the lender, who we call a lender in Uganda. So these lenders who are commercial banks, micro-deposit taking institutions, money lenders, regulated money lenders, not just you, someone waking up in the morning and you make yourself a money lender. Regulated money lenders, circles, but registered circles. So they have a name. Okay. They have a name. They are an institution. They are established by law, and they are regulated by the different institutions that oversee the operations. So what happens is that before you can use your cows or your goats, your chicken, and whatever you have as your riches or your property. Okay. An agreement. You enter into an agreement with the financial institution that is going to lend you. You enter into an agreement, and they go and value what you have. So they come home, because
they say 20 cows, I think one cow is 500,000, stuff like that.
Yeah, but you see, when they are valuing, you also need the value of what you have. Yes. Because you fed that cow from when it was little to now when it is giving you milk, when it has produced, it has potential. Same applies to someone who has a shop. The people you see who actually start small and they grow, they have potential of even increasing. So what happens is they come and value what you have. After they value, you get into an agreement between you, the owner of that property, but at that point, who's going to become a borrower, and then the lender. That is
me now.
Now you as Samuel, the owner of the livestock.
The owner of the cows, so the bank or the institution comes, they value my cows or goats.
Yes. Then you enter into an agreement. Of course, you know an agreement is a contract. So the issues of the agreement could probably mean what they are going to lend you, against what time frame, because you know when you're lending anybody, you must know how they are going to pay back, how much they are going to pay back, the nitty-gritty. But already the financial institutions are aware of that. They know how they do their.
And my collateral is the cows and goats, or maybe the maize acre.
Yes, but not the land.
Yes,
not
because
the land
it's
where
not movable.
Yes, not the land, because the land remains yours. And then actually when they come and value and lend you against what you have shown you have, they don't come and take your cows. Because your cows is what is going to enable you be able to pay off as they give birth to little ones, as you sell milk. So you just keep honoring your obligation to the secured creditor.
Okay, I've understood that. Sorry to cut you short there. So my cows are my collateral. The lender is coming to give me money. We have an agreement. Where does URSB come in now?
Where URSB comes in is the new act, the Securities Interest in Movable Property Act, stated that we must establish an e-registry. Like I said, initially, we were registering manually these shuttles. And the portfolio of the shuttles was really limited. And as you know, before you had even told me already that people were borrowing using land, and they continue to do that. But you know for a fact that it's almost impossible for you to get back fixed assets. And besides the small and medium enterprises, people who are starting, who they call omutuwawas, most of them don't have the fixed assets. So how are you going to expect me to grow my business when I actually don't have those fixed assets?
But they have a TVA, they have some cows.
So why can't I borrow against what I have? If probably I've failed to take back my child to school, but I'm hardworking. And I know that I have a garden. In the month of June, I'll be able to sell my maize and be able to meet the other costs of the loan. Why wouldn't I borrow against what I have? Instead of you going to sell a portion of your land that you can never regain.
So you still URSB, where does it come in? We haven't arrived at that point.
Where URSB comes in, for us, our mandate is to develop this system, the e-system, where the secured creditor registers the interest in that collateral you're using to borrow. You see? So for us, what we do is we man the registry. We end up manning that registry and ensuring we have evidence of people, of the collateral that Ugandans are using to access credit. So statistically also it's a beautiful thing, because we can be able to know that now people are moving more away from fixed assets and more to less. So
to help the viewers a little bit, so we're on the same page here. So this institution is going to lend me money based on my animals, for instance. So the institution brings my animals, that whole setup, and registers it with you people, correct? Am I right?
Not the animals. It's
the arrangement.
The arrangement, yes, the agreement and whatever.
They bring and register with you. Why should we register with you? Why can't we just do our thing? And why should we come?
You see, the most important thing to note is for Ugandans is whatever you do, as you're saying, like that, in that particular way, is not regulated sometimes. Because you won't be able to even have evidence of how many people have borrowed using that particular collateral in different financial institutions. Here now we are putting up a system. So in case Provia has borrowed from using the same collateral in more than one institution, and the value is less.
So these cows here, I'm going to one MFI after another using the same cows.
You can actually use the same cows. The first MFI can lend you, your cows can be worth 5 million. Then you go to the first MFI and get 2 million. Then you go to the second, you can use the same collateral.
As long as it's within the value, its value.
Yes. You go to the second and borrow 1 million. But the obligation, in case of anything, your first obligation is with the first person you registered with first, who you had an agreement with, just the normal way as you're lending and borrowing money. So first honor the first one, then you pay the second. With
e-systems, and you're going here, I know in other areas, you told me earlier we were discussing that you can do a search. What would I be searching for? How does that help me to search? What am I searching for to come to that system, for instance?
For the Securities Interest in Movable Property Registry, like I said, is E. But the public can be able to go onto the system without necessarily having an account, because before you can transact on the system, you must create an account so that we can know accounts are created either by individuals in those particular companies or by the institutions themselves. You see. But then you can come and actually do a search. If, for example, you want to prove that, or you already know that Provia has registered, has applied for credit using those particular livestock you're saying, you can be able to go into the system without creating an account and do a search.
To see does Provia those cows on that.
But you won't get too much information when you're doing a search. You'll get basic information showing Provia maybe has has there's interest that has been registered using Provia's livestock with this institution.
Okay.
You get basically, and then you can print out a report.
For instance, a guarantor, if I've guaranteed you so that you don't fool around with me, I can go to and check whether whatever you have told me as a guarantor is kind of authentic.
But by the time you become a guarantor or in issues of lending money and borrowing money, you sign off. You give a write-off, you sign off.
Okay.
You should never accept to be used without you knowing, because
okay.
later on.
But the system can help me do a background check anyway.
Yes, you
okay.
can. Yes.
Now, Provia, this is a new law and there's a new system coming on. Are the financial institutions on board already? Because people are going to get excited and say, oh, I have cows, school fees are coming, I don't have money, I can borrow. Is it working already?
Already, some financial institutions have been lending using collateral, against collateral, okay, like movable property. But what we encourage and call upon the rest of the financial institutions is to embrace this product amongst their loan portfolio. They can expand their portfolio, because even when you're borrowing against livestock, it doesn't mean someone will default. Someone will pay back. If you know you have an obligation to pay back and you've received money from someone or an institution, pay it back. And it doesn't mean that the person who starts small want to grow and be able to even access more credit. But the point is, we must encourage most of the institutions to go on board. I'm happy to note that some institutions are already lending using collateral, but then they have been doing it in their own way. But now we are going to actually be able to interest them in ensuring they use the system, the e-system, so that we can keep tabs of those ones that are actually using it, so that we can also engage the others that do not have it against their loan portfolio. Okay. So my wish is that they can embrace it and be able to help us grow.
So this system is kind of like also a credit reference bureau, in case those institutions can check on you whether you have overused your collateral, and therefore they can protect themselves. I hope I'm right on that one. Thank you very much, Provia. 15 minutes we always have. I told my guests they are running out. Your last word in 15 seconds.
In 15 seconds, all I can say is I call upon the commercial banks, the micro deposit taking institutions, the circles all over Uganda to support us and to support the normal Ugandan, especially the Mutuwa ones, to be able to access credit. Okay. Using this system. Okay. Viewers, you have heard, they want to make sure you get money if you don't have a house or land, but you have some animals, you have a garden. They want to make sure you get some money, and it will depend on institutions of finance coming on board. But there you have it. There's a law which has been enabling you, and URSB is in the middle to help you on this one. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. That was The Link.